sucker to me, a sucker is who pick who he fight with.
Right.
Like if you sitting and you go, I'm not going because this.
I won't fuck with him, but I fuck with this one.
Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right.
You want to fight that you think you can beat.
And I called Jay Prince and them out. I'm saying,
You didn't say nothing to Wack. So when you come talking to me, I feel like you're very selective. This is exactly what I meant last week when I was talking about street is being selective.
Can't believe people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean? They actually lying to y'all for a living.
Prince didn't bite his tongue. He called 50 a full-on hypocrite, saying, if Big Meech is a snitch, then 50 might as well be wearing a badge.
I'm gonna answer a few of y'all questions, then I'm gonna have to go about my business. You can see I'm just relaxing, letting God's air blow on my face in a sucker-free environment.
Wild energy right out the gate. Word on the curb is, Jay Prince is allegedly sending heavy warnings at 50 for speaking on Meech, hinting that things could get active if 50 keeps pushing that rat label. This ain't just back and forth. This sounds like pressure with heat behind it. But let's keep it a buck. 50 Cent doesn't do quiet when someone aims smoke his way. And now it's looking like Jay Prince might have tugged the wrong lion's mane, because this drama's got layers on layers.
You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a blessing, Rip.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? Who want to have access to power and not use it?
Prince's resume in the rumor mill isn't helping either. Talk around the scene includes alleged extortion plays, sketchy dice nights, and even whispers tying him and his son to the tragedy with Takeoff. None of it proven, but the internet never forgets. If 50 decides to dump receipts, believe he's stocked up with ammo and ready to spin the block digitally.
Oh, I had a dude call me, right? And that Junior been having some going on down there in Houston, bro. We got the media team in here. So it's an inside motherfucker here. Now this motherfucker, he's the one that's tied to the dude that makes the loaded dice. Right?
He already slid on Instagram with that trademark smirk, reminding folks how surgical he gets when someone tests him. Here's the real question. Is Jay Prince truly stepping up to shield Big Meech? And what exact words did he fire at 50 behind the scenes? Is he really ready to gamble with one of the pettiest, coldest strategists in the game? Or is this just posturing for the timeline? And don't get it twisted. 50 is still pressing Meech over those snitching claims with no breaks. He hasn't eased up at all, and now he's got extra voices piling on the smoke.
Check the play out. All entertainers, when you go to Houston, stay away from Jay Prince Jr. There's a whole play going on. Here go the play right here. The play is a loaded dice. Now I'm gonna talk about something. Let me see if y'all catch up with them. Y'all catch up to what I'm saying. The entertainer invites him in, act like he's covering for him, hanging out. Everything is cool. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go here, let's go there. He introduces the dice game. He got three right, who rotate the dice. Now, these dice is loaded. Tell me it's a Wolf, Big Caprice, and watch this, and Little Cam are the loaded dice rotators, right? He said, Wack, there was a situation that occurred that a certain jeweler around and got past the dice on accident and was hitting on them for a couple hundred. They got irritated about that. I ain't gonna go too far into that story because, right, boom. The only way they could get their money back was however their money back. He said, but Lil Cam, Wolf, and Big Caprice are the three designated to say I'm up, I got the next, and they pass the dice to each other, but they loaded, but they shooting against the motherfuckers in town, the entertainer. Right? They say Jay Prince Jr., he get 30% of whatever the take is.
Out of nowhere, Toronto rapper Top 5 jumped into the chat and blasted Meech on socials. He dropped a video saying Meech slid in his DMs, called him a rat, and tagged 50 like, 50 Cent, come get this fake 60-year-old kingpin out my DMs before I crash out. Then he stamped it with the hashtag #, big screech dash, disrespectful and loud. 50 didn't miss a beat. He reposted the clip and sprinkled his own shade on top. He captioned it, he probably wanted to borrow some money from you, gangsta. LOL Classic 50, precision trolling at its finest.
Beware of with Jay Prince Jr. when he talking about let's go shoot some dice. Because the loaded dice crew of 3 Lil Cam Wolf and Big Caprice. We know Lil Cam in there because I believe somehow, some way he was caught up in the dice situation. Rest in peace, Takeoff. I don't know what's going on. But what I do know this, Jay Prince Jr. got a whole thing that when y'all come into town, hold on, bro. Didn't they say Fifth Ward earlier that day shooting dice?
Yep.
That's a fact. That word been out, Wack. That word been out. We been out that memo.
And then, so this have been getting hit all day, and it got to the point at the thing where Quavo like, that is the dice. If you're a mother artist, entertainer, and you been down there to Houston with the hosting of Jay Prince Jr., and that it led you to a dice game, and you was getting hit for all your and you remember 3 by the name of Big Caprice, Wolf, or Lil Cam, y'all need to get on Jay Prince Jr. bumper because it was a lineup. Y'all need to holler at that because his people done told me inside, he said, Wack, we the one give him the mother loaded dice.
Who goddamn Quavo was arguing with before he walked off?
I think the argument was about the dice.
Meanwhile, most of the industry is ducking low, not trying to get dragged into the crossfire, but one name jumps straight into the blaze, Jay Prince. Folks are stepping back while he steps forward, which says a lot about how bold this is. Jay Prince started stirring the pot when nobody even called him out, according to the chatter. Gossip pages say he's been sneak dissing 50 on IG stories, accusing him of saying Big Meech's name just to boost his own buzz. Allegedly, he even posted, then deleted, a message that read, Big Meech was worth over $100 million before he went to prison. 50 used Meech's life to make money and gave him $5 million, and now thinks he created the BMF brand. That's a heavy claim, and the receipts on that are still up for debate. So now it's not just 50 and Meech. Jay Prince wants a seat at the table too, and the room just got hotter.
It's a jeweler that got doing the Boosie dice game. Oh, yeah. So he was against Boosie and he got past the loaded dice. So, his name was Duke the Jeweler. They said Boosie set him up. Now your story makes more sense. He died with all his jewelry on. Lil Cam was shooting that night when Takeoff died too. They're saying DJ Pat Bullet was a bullet that killed Takeoff. Also, Cam was the one shooting dice, so he had the loaded dice. Now, for Boosie, they must have switched the dice up. Either they was gonna have no, Boosie was supposed to have the loaded dice, and they must have switched it, gave it to the wrong.
But here's where it gets wilder. Insiders claim Jay Prince isn't keeping it to captions and stories. Word is he's allegedly making slick behind-the-scenes moves and hinting at sending people at 50 to quiet him down. Totally unverified talk, but that's the rumor making rounds. 50 didn't blink. He fired back with a bold flex, posting a scene from Training Day like a coded warning. In the caption, he wrote, "Get the message." Fans definitely caught the vibe and flooded the comments with, "He's built for this energy." Now the internet is clowning Jay Prince, telling him to relax and stay in his lane, because crossing 50 can turn into a long week fast.
Can y'all elaborate on dice game when it's tied to y'all?
I know people were associating me with that Duke the Jeweler situation because I went to Labusa pool party and he happened to be there and he happened to be standing on me. I mean, right next to me. The truth is, I never met him before. I had no idea who he is. I didn't even know he was a jeweler until after his passing. And then the night of that game isn't the night that he got leaving Boosie concert the next night because somebody tried to rob him. So, you know, the internet play internet games. But this is a situation with a dude that I didn't even know. I ain't know his name. I had no knowledge of him. I ain't know he was from Chicago. I ain't know he was a jeweler until social media started trying to point a finger because he was standing next to me, and it's just unfortunate that something transpired after another dice game, but neither incidents had anything to do with a dice game.
People are saying if your closet has any skeletons, this isn't the spar you want right now. For anyone new to the name, Jay Prince is the CEO and co-founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, a legendary Houston label with decades of impact. Around H-Town, he's been known to call himself the King of Houston, moving like he oversees the terrain. And there's an unwritten code that when major artists land in the city, he's the unofficial point man for keeping their movement smooth and protected. At least, that's how locals often describe it. Not everyone's sold on that story.
So while we was gone, I got a call, you know what I mean? Because the little homie YoungBoy place got broke into. People went in his place, disrespected different things, and you know, I got a call about it. And the little homies that went into this place want to make that right because they understand that, you know what I mean, YoungBoy family is okay with me. And as you can see, homie, to make a long story short, I got your keys to your Rolls Royce. I got your keys to your McLaren. You know, all that they took. And the homie, Shakur, what you got, homie?
We got your Rolls Royce umbrellas. We got your keys. Got a bunch of other shit, so get in contact with us, bro. Get your shit back, bro.
All good. Waiting on you.
People in the streets say that protection might just be a front, with talk that Jay Prince and his son Jazz could allegedly be running a quiet extortion play behind the scenes. Rumor, but it's buzzing. And that's not all. There's more side-eye on those so-called dice games they host in Houston. The word is, artists pull up and get lined up, losing big and fast, like the table's moving funny. Again, unverified, but the chatter won't stop. Looks like 50 might be ready to drag some heavy secrets into daylight.
Hey, I don't want no friends. I don't want no new relationships. All that pussy, hey, I don't respect none of that shit, man. If you got something for me, man, they got plenty of niggas around me you could call. I ain't nigga. It's plenty ways you could get in touch with me. Man, don't get on no internet and do nothing publicly. Don't do nothing dealing with no publicity, none of that pussy and shit. And I'm good on the keys, gangster. When you buy shit cash, two keys come with the car anyway. Man, you bitch.
The whispers around Jay Prince and his circle went into overdrive after Takeoff's tragic passing. But here's the wild twist. Folks say Takeoff wasn't even the first person linked to Jazz Prince's Dice Nights who lost his life. That's why online talk got extra heated. A few months earlier, Chicago's Duke the Jeweler reportedly hit big at one of those games and walked out with $100,000 in his pocket. That win turned tragic fast. Before he reached his car, he was ambushed, robbed, and slayed, per reports, gone just like that. And the city was stunned. So when Takeoff passed, fans were furious and started pointing at Quavo, saying he should have never been rolling with Jay Prince and the Mob Ties crew, especially after what happened to Duke. People were like, after all that shady stuff, how could you even be near them? And the comments lit up. With all those suspicions hovering over the Prince family, folks said Quavo should have kept his distance, period.
Exactly. You 60. You 60. What are you talking about? What are you, bro? I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. When you had Shakur with you, when you lined YoungBoy NBA up, why the you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got YoungBoy NBA umbrellas and his keys to his car. YoungBoy NBA told y'all niggas. This is what he said. This is what YoungBoy NBA said. Wack 100 was the most disrespectful. Wild disrespect. I ain't even gonna repeat the shit 100 said. Mad disrespect. Drake is beefing with Kendrick Lamar as we speak. I have not heard, this is the first time Drake got into some shit, and I ain't hear you say shit to Kendrick Lamar now. Why do you think that you could tell us what we can and cannot say, man? Control your...
The more people dig, the more the narrative looks messy, and the timeline keeps surfacing new angles that make everything look even shakier. The man accused of firing the fatal shot Patrick Xavier Clark, was officially indicted by a grand jury in Takeoff's case, according to reports. But even with almost 3 years gone by, the trial still hasn't started, which has people calling the whole situation confusing and cold. One day after Clark's arrest, reports say he secured a $1 million bond and went to house arrest. By November 2023, those terms were eased. No ankle monitor, just a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. curfew, which had the internet raising eyebrows again. Here's the eyebrow raiser. Court filings say Clark can't contact any witnesses, victims, or Takeoff's family. And that list reportedly includes J. Prince Jr. Why would his name even be there if there's nothing to see, right? And it doesn't stop there. The judge also barred Patrick Xavier Clark from contacting J. Prince Sr. in any way. Fans are side-eyeing the whole setup like, how do you go from house arrest to a light curfew and almost free movement? This is moving like a thriller. The twists keep stacking. Years have passed and there's still no locked-in trial date, which has people whispering that there might be more happening behind the scenes than the public is being shown. The longer it drags, the louder the questions get. Here comes the latest curve. Clark is standing 10 toes on his innocence, and his attorney, Letitia Canonis Hollins, is coming with full energy. She told Rolling Stone that her client didn't fire the shots that ended Takeoff, period, and she's pressing that point hard. She went at the state's evidence, saying the video angles and the ballistics don't line up, and that once this case finally hits trial, she's ready to tear the state's theory apart in real time. That's a bold stance, and it's got the timeline watching. There was someone else who started the shooting. It was not Patrick Clark, she told Rolling Stone. He was in the same position Takeoff was, just trying to get out of there alive. He wasn't involved in the argument and didn't start anything. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time when bullets started flying. That's a heavy claim to put on record. Now circle back to those ongoing whispers about rappers getting lined up at certain dice games tied to the Prince circle, and you can see why folks say the picture keeps getting messier by the week. Allegations have been floating for a minute and people are paying close attention. Industry voices like Wack 100 have already spoken up. He publicly accused J. Prince's son of running a loaded dice hustle on visiting artists and warned people to keep their distance. He even told folks that if you step into one of those games, you might not walk out with your money, or in the worst scenario, not walk out at all. Wack hinted that Quavo and Takeoff might have gotten caught in some off-the-record moves that could have sparked the chain of events leading to Takeoff's heartbreaking passing, and he said it like he knew the room would go silent. He didn't pump the brakes there either. He kept the pressure on. He even pulled Lil Boosie into the storm, accusing him of being tied to the same dice game setup that ended with Duke the Jeweler losing his life. Heavy allegations that had timelines buzzing, serious claims to hang on anybody. When Jazz Prince finally got pressed about the rumors, he tried to shut it down quickly. He denied even knowing Duke the Jeweler and insisted his dice games had nothing to do with Duke or Takeoff's passings.
I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your Lord. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little niggas. Like, for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas have big homies. We're not little niggas, so we don't even respect big homies. I know it doesn't, and for me, I never respected niggas in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Would tell me, Mace, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a Lord, like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo, Mace, listen. Around here, we don't send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. You got to put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission. Nah, this is where the game got messed up, when young started sending old niggas out, and just because this little ignorant got a few dollars, he make all of you that's supposed to be real run after his mission. This is a problem, J. Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street nigga, you failed.
He called it just rumors, but a lot of folks still weren't buying it, saying the optics look shaky. And it doesn't end with the dice talk. J. Prince's name has floated in extortion conversations for years, and lately the noise got louder, especially after July 2020 when NBA YoungBoy was robbed in Houston. That's when the narrative picked up speed. Allegedly, some people tied to J. Prince pulled up to YoungBoy's Airbnb and didn't come for small stuff. They allegedly took his icy chains and the keys to his $350,000 Bentley. Then instead of laying low, a video popped up like a victory lap showing a white Bentley, a white Rolls Royce, and a 2020 white McLaren GT. Bold. Here's the extra twist. Reports say the same crew didn't do it for clout alone. They allegedly demanded a $30,000 drop to hand it back. People said it didn't feel random, more like another supposed extortion play tied to J. Prince's orbit. Why do people think that? Because J. Prince himself hopped on Instagram calm as ever, saying he had YoungBoy's chains and keys, and even told him to come pick them up, like a casual handoff after a wild situation. YoungBoy wasn't buying the act, at all. He called it how he saw it, saying the whole thing smelled like a setup and accusing J. Prince of moving shady, using that checking-in system in Houston as a front to lean on rappers for access and leverage. And YoungBoy isn't the only one who's over the Prince family antics. Cameron and Maze fired shots too, not just over the YoungBoy situation, but for allegedly letting their protege Drake get clowned by Kendrick Lamar without lifting a finger. Heavy talk that had timelines heated, but their issues with Prince go back a step. Cam and Maze say Jay allegedly tried to strong-arm them into cooling off their criticism of New Jersey boxer Shakur Stevenson, who happens to be managed by J. Prince. More people keep pulling the curtain back, and they're sounding bolder by the day. Cameron and Mace weren't feeling Shakur Stevenson's recent world title fight, and they said it loud on their show. No sugarcoating. J. Prince wasn't letting that slide, though. He popped on Instagram with a slick warning, basically telling them to cut the hate and put money behind their opinions if they really feel that way. Jay wrote, "Numbers don't lie, haters do." He said only a select few think Shakur is boring, and claimed the data backs it up. According to him, Shakur pulled the #1 ESPN fight rating of the year, and the top 3 since 2022. Then he upped the energy with, "I'm Shakur's manager and I handle all his business outside the ring." Translation from the streets, he's standing on business. He capped it with, "I'll fade all his shots and take all bets." Cam and Mace, unmoved. They clowned J. Prince for acting like he's still outside on business time, saying he should be moving wiser at his age and status. And now the crowd is roasting J. Prince even harder. Like, why step to 50 Cent and jump into the Big Meech smoke when the timeline already thinks your name's tied to too many shaky rumors? Social feeds are lit with folks saying this isn't the hill to stand on, especially if the optics already look messy. Keep it real. 50 Cent built his brand on calling people out, dropping receipts, and turning disrespect into a full-on campaign. So for J. Prince to wade into this storm with a long trail of chatter behind him, people are saying he's playing a dangerous game and might have picked a fight he can't win. If 50 really locks in, he doesn't just clap back, he produces moments. From those dice game whispers to the extortion talk and everything in between, he'll package it, post it, and press the issue until it trends again and again. But what do you think? Did J. Prince overstep by jumping into the Big Meech convo and allegedly sending warnings at 50, or does he have a legit reason to speak on it? Is this defense or just ego getting loud at the wrong time? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like, hit subscribe, and send this to a friend who lives for hip-hop drama. We're keeping it raw but fair, and the next update might shake the room, so lock in and share the love. Catch you in the next one.